Welcome to my channel. This is an indication of some of the things that I cover on a regular basis in my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so, and don't forget to click the little bell so that you'll get notified of future videos. Please feel free to share my videos on your social media, and I hope you enjoy the video which follows.
Well, hello everybody. I'm going to try my hand at making panisse puffs, or panisse soufflées, whichever you prefer to call them, I guess. There are a recipe devised by David Leibovitz. I've read his book called L'Appart, which is the story of him buying an apartment in Paris, just a small apartment in Paris, but anyway, the nightmare that pursued with carpenters and electricians and plumbers and everything before he could finally sign the papers and buy the thing. That book also has some recipes in it, but I saw David interviewed, don't know what television program now, and I was intrigued by that book. They mentioned the book, so I bought that book, and after having read the book, I bought My Paris Kitchen. You can see that or not. Another of his books, which is a cookbook. It has lots of recipes in it, but also lots of stories about acquiring the ingredients in France and living in Paris and all of that sort of thing. I've never had the true Panisse. They are a dish provençal from the south of France, from Nice actually, and this, David says, is a hybrid. So I'll put a link to a website which I don't really think has the recipe, at least I couldn't find the recipe on it. It is David's website, evidently, and it does have some more photographs of what they look like and that sort of thing, and maybe the recipe's there somewhere. I just looked around for a minute or two and couldn't find it, but I'll put that down below. But it's straightforward, not very many ingredients, and it's made in a blender. I guess you can see my trusty old blender there. I'll show you the ingredients in just a moment. The original panisse is, well, he finds a recipe, says it's baked in saucers. It's baked in small flat dishes anyway. And this is going to be done in a popover pan. You could also do it in a muffin tin. I happen to have a popover pan, and that's what he used, so that's what I'm going to use. And it is made with chickpea flour. Some all-purpose white flour as well, but it's made with chickpea flour. I had no idea where in this part of the world I would find chickpea flour. I suppose a health food store somewhere, but there isn't one within easy distance of where I live. I had a bag of dried chickpeas, and with the blender I was able to produce what I would call chickpea flour. It's a nice smooth powder anyway that I turned them into. I won't make you suffer through that noise. It took several minutes, but this trusty old blender of mine did it. So let's have a look now at the ingredients.
That might give you a little better look at the book as well, I guess. That's his photograph. The ones on the website that I'll put the link down below aren't as high as those, but anyway, that's, I'm sure after many practices, those are the best. You'd always want to put the best in your cookbook, wouldn't you? But there's the cover of the book as well, if you can see that. Don't recall what I paid for it, but it's a very interesting book. And the ingredients, as I say, there aren't very many, and they're fairly simple. 2/3 of a cup of chickpea flour, 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose white flour, a cup of whole milk, 2 large eggs and 1 egg white, room temperature. We use a tablespoon of butter in the recipe and need some more butter for painting the inside of the popover molds. And then I have the other seasonings and spices, if I can get that in there. There is 3/4 of a teaspoon of either kosher or sea salt. I used sea salt. 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and it said a pinch of cayenne. I don't have any cayenne. I put in 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. As you know, I like things a bit spicy, so if you didn't like that much, you could add just a pinch of chili flakes. Well, that is the ingredients, and it all goes together in the blender, so let's put it together.
Okay, I was just looking at the instructions again there, and it says just to blend them until smooth. I was wondering if there was any particular length of time that it should be blended. So 2/3 of a cup of chickpea flour, homemade. 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour, a cup of whole milk, 2 large eggs and 1 egg white, and the spices: 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and I used 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes, and 1 tablespoon of melted butter. We'll whir it around here. It seems to be well blended, I guess. The popover pan has been in the oven preheating at 425 degrees, so I'm going to bring it out and butter it and put the batter in and see how this goes. Well, these are just out of the 425 degree oven. And now, butter them generously, it said. Now I'll make an effort at evenly dividing this. How successful I will be. I'll go about half of each one to start with, I guess. That last one might have been a big half. I think that's that. They go in the 425 degree oven now for 35 minutes, but as soon as they're in there, you lower the temperature to 400 degrees, and he says don't open the door for 45 minutes. 35 minutes, excuse me. And there they are, straight out of the oven. Not looking too bad at all. Pleased with how much they puffed up. Of course, I have several sizes. That's me with my measuring when I put something in. If I don't have a scales or a measuring cup, I usually get too much in some. Now, the instructions are, like if you were having popovers or Yorkshire pudding, you serve it straight out of the oven while it's still nice and hot. So I will select this nice one back here. Came out very nicely. And I will move the camera a bit and we'll see what that tastes like. It's very hot. I don't know if I can add a little butter to it or not. We will see. Actually, I think I want it to cool a little bit before I actually tasted it. That is hot. I thought they might cool down fast, but not so terribly fast, I guess. It smells very good. I have never cooked with chickpea flour before.
It certainly has a nice aroma and a nice yellow color inside. I suppose that's the combination of the chickpea flour and the eggs. 2 egg yolks in that. So let's give it a try. I like that. It's very good. I'm not getting too much heat, even though I did put a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes in there. I can't describe the flavor. It's different anyway, and I like it. The chickpea flour certainly makes something interesting. Yeah. I think if I'm going to make Yorkshire puddings or popovers, I would try this next time. Very interesting. Well, I hope that this interests you and you'll give it a try. I'll at least list the ingredients down below, and as you can tell from the video, there really isn't any need of having a full recipe. You can figure out what to do from watching the video. So thank you very much for watching.